What's going on, guys? Super quick Whisperer boss guide, one of the more technical bosses out of the 4 that got released with the Desert Treasure 2 quest. So jumping straight into things, you want to bring your best in slot mage gear. I'll throw up the recommended items up on the wiki page right now. And then for our inventory setup, we're bringing in an Accursed Scepter, as the special attack will lower her magic defense, a Blackstone Fragment, some Forgotten Brews, a Venator Bow, which you can swap out for a Blowpipe or a Rune Thronax special, which we'll talk about later. And then some Super Restorers, some Manta Rays, a Teleport Out, and then Runes for Ice Barrage. And then if you have it, bring in a Saturated Heart or an Imbued Heart to further increase your magic bonus. And for this fight, the biggest things that you want to look out for is your prayer switches. If you get all your prayer switches in, then you're going to take 0 damage from this boss. But it honestly takes a lot of practice. The main thing you want to look out for is your mage and range switches, specifically on her auto attacks, which we'll discuss a little bit into the boss fight. And then for these tiles, if you want to download these tiles, they're going to be in the description of my YouTube video. So if you're watching this on TikTok, head on over to the YouTube video and you can copy and paste them and then download them by importing them up here on the ground markers when you right click on the world map icon. And so for these tiles, we're going to be using them for the enraged phase. The reason why they're in an L shape is that is how you basically dodge out of her tentacles attacks. So on her enraged phase, when you're going in a circle pattern like this, you'll actually take 0 damage and you won't get hit by those tentacles. So we'll break that down later on in the fight. And yeah, the main thing you want to focus on is protecting from each of her attacks, which we'll talk about exactly how they switch as the fight progresses. And also focusing on dodging out on those tentacles. So without further ado, let's get our spec whip on, disturb this odd little figure in the ground, pot up, get our spec off, and then just look out for what we need to pray for first. At the beginning of the fight, she's going to do 3 attacks, and she's going to be doing 3 attacks consecutively throughout the fight. The first 3 are going to be the exact same style, so just protect from mage or range depending on which attack it is. And then after those 3 attacks go off, you just want to step off to the side, either the left or the right. At the beginning of the fight, she's only going to do her tentacle attacks in a diagonal pattern like this. But later on in the fight, she's going to switch it up and start doing it in a cross as well. So just get prepared for that. Here's her first special attack. So when you see these, you want to click on the Blackstone Fragment, and then you just want to step over these light orbs. There's quite a few patterns. I personally haven't memorized each of them, but once you do memorize them, you can actually click on the Blackstone Fragment again and then do them in the other realm so that you save on some mana. Here she's going to freeze you. Make sure you get the barrage off in time or else she will auto attack you there, and her melee attacks do quite a bit of damage. After her first special, her auto attacks are going to change a little bit. So she's now going to do mage, range, or range, mage. So that last attack is going to change up. Just simply get comfortable with those prayer switches. Make sure the auto hits you before you switch. The biggest mistake that I was doing is that I wasn't waiting for that auto to hit me. And now here is her second special. You want to click on the Blackstone Fragment, see where that column is that has full HP, and then click on it again to go back into this realm. And then go behind the other pillars until the last one is standing, and then just go on the last one. You can also get some auto attacks in between those attacks. I personally didn't there, just to kind of show you exactly where to go. And then here she's going to freeze us again, cast Ice Barrage on her, and then continue on with the fight. We missed one of our prayers there, unfortunately. But her auto attacks shouldn't change. There, we got hit by a tentacle. As you guys can see, she's now going to alternate between doing the cross and doing the diagonal X. Just make sure you're stepping on the right tiles. And this is the last special. This is where you want to have your Venator Bow out or your Rune Thronax special. For these ones in a line, make sure you're attacking the ones on the outside edges so that it will combo all of them. And then simply continue on with the boss fight. Here she's going to get the freeze off. And then once she does her final special, her auto attacks are going to change up once more. Now it's going to be mage, range, mage. So just going to alternate. Just make sure you're getting the correct prayers off and then dodging out on those tentacles. And then preparing for her enraged phase when she reaches 0 HP. You always want to have your your range prayers on, as she's going to do 2 range attacks right off the bat. Also, make sure you are potted up so that you have full prayer bar. So here we go. 2 ranged attacks, 2 mage attacks, and then you just want to keep going in a circle formation to dodge out of those tentacles. If you get hit, don't worry about attacking her. Just make sure you go top up on your prayer, top up on your HP. We missed a couple flicks there. Yeah, if you go in this circle formation, it makes this last part a lot easier. And there you go. As you can see, we got hit by 0 of those tentacles, and it made that last enraged phase a lot easier. That's it for this video. Hope you guys learned how to do the Whisperer. If you guys know of any other tips or tricks, make sure to leave some comments below. I personally took quite some time to get those prayer flicks learned. I died a lot of times on the rage phase, so just take your time with it. A lot of this is just repetition. A lot of it is just practice, getting the muscle memory down of her attacks, and you will learn it at some point. Hope you guys get some cheeky little drops early on, and that's it for me. I love you guys. Peace out.